number one reason I wanted to make sure I voted. It's very important to me. I don't think I've missed an election in over 50 years.
My civic duty to come and vote. I'm an American, and it's my American duty.
Well, I just want to beat the lines if there are any, and get my vote in early. I wanted to vote it early, but just wasn't able to, and have work today, so just want to get it done and do my duty.
Words from Midland's voters who woke up early to cast their ballot in today's general election. Good afternoon, and thank you so much for joining us for News 19 at noon. I'm Whitney Sullivan. Well, there's been a steady stream of voters this morning and this midday as they cast their ballot for who they want to see lead the country, state, and their community. And so far, lines have not been a big issue, as we know many South Carolinians chose to vote early in this year's election. News 19's Cassidy Beyer has spent the last few hours at several polling locations in Richland County, and she joins us now with the latest. Cassidy?
Yeah, Whitney, 6 hours down, only 7 to go. Can you believe that? And last time I did check in with you, hearing those voters that you guys just listened to, that was at Ward 16's polling place at Dreher High School. I'm currently at Ward 1 at Senior Resources, Senior Resources, excuse me, and Governor Henry McMaster and his wife Peggy have just stopped by to cast their ballot, which was extremely exciting. We asked him, why do you vote on Election Day? Why not vote early? Here's what he had to say.
A lot of people are doing the early voting this time, so that would explain it. I think we're going to have a good turnout when it's all counted up.
Why do you choose to vote on Election Day as opposed to the 2 weeks that we have available?
Well, if we put it in the other time, y'all would get it all mixed up and wouldn't know where to go to watch the vote. No, that's how Peggy and I like to do that. That's how we've always done it.
So hearing from the governor, it's a personal preference for him. And let me reiterate, I am at Ward 1 at the Laurie Center. So apologies on that. But coming up this noon hour, I did speak with the clerk here at this polling place to find out a little bit about how numbers are looking. I'll share that momentarily with you, Whitney. But as for now, I'm going to toss it back to you. See you soon.
All right. Thank you so much, Cassidy. Yeah, we're continuing to see a steady stream of voters there. Now, a big topic of conversation today as well, the weather on this election day. As you saw Cassidy with that umbrella dealing with a little rain.
Yeah, and if you are heading out this afternoon, carry that umbrella with you, especially in the northern half of the Midlands. Still do have some shower activity, relatively light shower activity moving through parts of the area, but you'll notice in the southern and eastern half of the Palmetto State, skies are starting to clear out. Temperatures are warming up to 81 degrees in Charleston, but 70 degrees in the capital city. We're expecting highs in the mid to upper 70s to near 80 degrees with a few showers. 65 degrees tonight with only a small chance of rain, and then a chance for rain tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening. We'll break down this forecast much further coming up in just a few minutes. Whitney?
All right, thank you so much, DB. Now, if you're looking ahead to the polls, they are open today until 7 o'clock this evening. Now, it's important to know that if you're in line by 7, you will be allowed to vote. Now, after doing your civic duty, we all want to know the same question: when can we expect to see results? Well, according to officials, election workers will tally votes for a couple of hours after voting closes. Most results should come in around 11 o'clock in the evening, with most races being called by midnight. However, it's a different story when we're talking about the presidential election. That could actually take a few days because this is such a tight race. As many of you may remember, it took several days before President Biden was named the president in 2020. And if you are voting today, we want to make sure this process goes as smooth as possible. So we are on your side with a few things to keep in mind. First up, you want to make sure you go to the right polling place. Election day is not the same as early voting, where you can vote anywhere. You'll have to go to your assigned polling place, which is listed on your voter registration card, or all you got to do is go to scvote.gov, and you can find that information on the state elections website. And when you go to vote, you need an ID. Besides a driver's license, it can also be a passport, student ID, even your employee badge, depending on where you work.
But I also want to be clear, anybody who thinks it's time to play militia, F around and find out. Anybody who thinks it's time to insult, to deride, to mistreat, to threaten people, F around and find out.
Strong words from Philadelphia District Attorney Larry Krasner in a press conference yesterday for anyone attempting to interfere with the voting process. And he isn't the only one laying down the law. When it comes to safety, election officials around the country say protecting votes, voters, and polling locations are top concern. The National Guard is on standby alert in Nevada and at least 19 other states, including Arizona and North Carolina. They have actually all activated their Guard troops. In Washington, D.C., some businesses have boarded up and extra security fencing is added outside the White House and the vice president's home. The FBI's Election Security Command Center is running around the clock on the lookout for any and all potential security threats.
Threats include criminal threats, such as threats to election workers, foreign malign influence, cyber threats, and acts of domestic violence.
Well, the FBI says they have already seen some cyber attacks focused on this election, but that's actually relatively common. The most concern for today is the physical safety of voters, candidates, and elected officials while aiming to make Americans feel confident in the results, whatever they may be. All right, well, turning our attention back here at home in Richland County, voters will be deciding which two candidates will join or return to the Richland 1 School Board. The incumbents, Angela Clyburn and Tamika Myers, just finished their first terms, but Angela Brown, Richard Moore, and John Black would be new faces to the school board.
A combination of special needs and clearing the air when it comes to the district. You know, we have this dark cloud hovering over us. It seems like there's always something else coming up. The issues with the Department of Education, you know, I don't believe that it has been handled properly.
Making sure our teachers have what they need for instruction, our students are supported, you know, with what they need in order to, you know, absorb everything that the teachers are putting before them.
There have been some improvements based on the test scores that have come out recently, but my concern is that the student achievement needs to be consistent across all the schools. We need for every student and every teacher to be in a classroom that's nurturing and caring, that's challenging and effective.
Well, News 19 reached out to candidate Tamika Myers about an interview, and she replied, "No, thank you." We also reached out to candidate Angela Brown via email, text, and calls, and she did not reply. All 5 candidates will appear on the ballot for voters in Richland County today, and voters can choose 2 candidates. All right, my friends, remember, WLTX is a place for everything you need to know before and after you cast your vote. So in addition to our regular newscast, we will stream hours of live coverage of local and statewide races on WLTX+. That all starts at 7 o'clock tonight. So it's super easy to find this. All you have to do is search WLTX+ on your Apple TV, Fire TV, or Roku.